Alex, looking at your team here, no Tom Kearney, what's that all about?
We contacted Fulham last week, for fitness for duty, and at that moment they said that Tom wasn't going to be available. So we went along, in the Fulham kind of lines, and for that reason didn't include Tom. But he only played for 20 minutes, and he's obviously missed a few weeks in terms of playing games. But it's nothing sinister. It was more the dialogue we had with Fulham.
Yeah, just to clarify, because obviously there was speculation linking him with England. Have you spoken to him? Are you happy that he's committed to Scotland?
Yeah, it's a little bit like Scott McTominay. Whenever we've had Tom in the squad, Tom Kearney in the squad, he's integrated with the group brilliantly, and we would expect him to prolong his Scottish career.
Elsewhere, some players back, like Scott McKenna, Ollie Burnley, Robert Snodgrass is in at the start this time. John McLaughlin's back. Talk us through the squad and those guys coming back in and how big a boost it is.
Yeah, well, Burnley's been injured as well. He had a good spell before the injury. As you know, we picked him for the last squad, and he was in goal scoring form at that particular time. He's come back to the team. He never scored at the weekend, but he made a couple of goals, and he was very lively. So again, good to get him back in the squad, and it'd be great to see Ollie getting off the mark, in the Scotland jersey by notching a goal for himself. But as we've seen with the world champions, sometimes the centre forward doesn't have to score.
Good to have better defensive options with McKenna and Hendry back in. Yeah, McKenna,
Jack Hendry, still a young guy, and he's come into a huge club like Celtic, and you find that it can be a roller coaster at times. And he was in fantastic form for us in the internationals, and I think you have to take one or two knocks to become a top footballer, and I think Jack it's certainly got a good future ahead of him, and we've included him again because he's played very well for us, and hopefully he's over the wee spell where he was taking some criticism, but that's part of the game, and he's got to be strong enough mentally. You have to be in this crazy new world, of the internet and the social network, social media, and he stood up to the test, I think.
And he's spoken to Lee Griffiths since he got a kick in the teeth.
No, he's done his talking on the field, and that's all you can ask for. I think the last press conference we said, where are you going to get a goal from? Now Lee's been firing the goals in, and McBurney's been in decent form, and it's good to talk about the guys scoring goals at last. Obviously, we'd like to see them being prolific in the Scotland jersey.
How happening is it to see a goal of the class of John McGinn?
Oh, amazing strike, yeah, and it shows you what John McGinn has in his locker, as well as the other attributes he has. And I'm not going to say that he's the new Gareth Barry, but he's in similar lines, a kind of potential to be that kind of legend for Aston Villa. And again, John is still a young guy learning it also, and there's things that he's going to improve in, and he's already improved in his game, and they're loving him down there. They're loving him.
Given the performance you got from the players last time out against Albania here, is it very much a case of these players have the shirt to lose, I feel like, rather than people can still play themselves into them when training in the lead up to these games?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to. I've never ever said to a player, your place is guaranteed. You always have to earn it. You have to go through your whole football career proving yourself. People saying I've got nothing to prove. You've got to prove yourself every week, and in international football, I'm like a professional supporter. You're going to see the guys, how the form is. Are they still got the groove? Are they still got the rhythm? Have they lost a bit of form? The body language good? And that's the test between the last international and the next one. And glad to say that these guys that have been picked have all been in fine form for the clubs.
If you don't mind me saying, your demeanour after that game it felt a little bit kind of defiant, rather than delighted with the result. Did you feel that you'd kind of...
Which one?
After the
Albania game.
People had questioned, even from the point that they saw the starting team. You mentioned social media, people on social media, people chatting, saying, that's not right. Did you feel that you'd kind of stuck two fingers up almost like to some people in that regard?
Okay. As I said, even at the tender age of 59, you still feel that you want to prove yourself, and it's nice to, obviously to get the positive result that we had. We'd built up to it. We took a handful of really tough games on, the South Americans, Belgium, and they were all great learning curves. The games in Hungary, Costa Rica, and that's not the end. Albania's not the end. It's only the beginning. And it was a good performance, good result. And you feel self-satisfaction, but I'm not saying there's two fingers up to everybody. I'm too long in the tooth for that. I grew up with you guys, and we've got a lot of respect for each other.
In terms of the change now, it's only one or two tweaks in the beginning to make. How important is it that you get that club in around the national squad, just in terms of you club play each other every week? How important is it that you get that sense for the national team as well?
I think it's very important because I was at a FIFA conference last weekend where all the coaches of every country in the world was invited to London, and it was one of the continuous themes was that getting the spirit within the squad. Even the world champion Deschamps, he spoke about the unity within his group, and Croatia as well. All the top coaches were there, and it was nice to hear that they're advocating exactly what you want for your own country.
Man, do you see that in a training ground when you're with the squad? Do you see that unity and that spirit?
Yeah,
that builds into these Israel.
I do it, and I see some leaders. Andy Robertson obviously been made the new captain, and already he's taken on that leadership mantle with aplomb, and he's got guys round about him, Charlie Mulgrew and Robert Snodgrass. These guys were all really effervescent in terms of sharing the kind of positive factor with the rest of the young guys in the squad. So that is hugely important.
Was there any tips at all to pick Martin Boyle in Australia quite far down the line with that one?
Yeah, Martin's been in great form over the last year or so. I just felt that we've got we're pretty rich in that position. We have a lot of players in it, and I don't want to mess people about. Just bring them along as a cheerleader, or bring them along just because they've been in great form of recent times. What will be will be. If it's meant for Martin to play for Scotland, then it could happen. So you just got to watch his space, and he's got to keep playing to the level. Australia may snatch him, but at the moment I've got some really good players in that position.
Was he one you had in mind for the summer?
Yeah. He was injured, if you remember, and I was going to ask to take him. We had kind of made approaches to get Martin, but he was ruled out because of injury.
Just go back to the difference thing. Was it heartening to hear somebody cared? When you spoke about what you said, was it good to hear that he cared about it that much? That you
yeah. What I took out of Lee's comments was the positive ending of his comments was it's up to us to show the manager that we're good enough to be worthy of a place. And then he goes and scores 3 in a row, and he's in good form, and he's a first choice at this moment for Celtic.
Is that giving you a difficult decision, you think, for the Israel game?
Yeah. I want difficult decisions. It's great to have difficult decisions when everybody's in such good form. Then obviously Naismith getting a goal in the last game. I think somebody said that he was guaranteed to play the next game. That's not the case. As I said, prove yourself every week, guys. And Naismith is still in good form. Griffiths is in good form. Augurs well. McBurney's come back into the squad, and it's time, as I said, for him to try and get off the mark as well.
Alec, can I ask you about Super Sunday, as it's been going in terms of the 2 League Cup semi-finals? It's been met with some, if not a lot, of criticism by managers and players. What's your thoughts?
Not my department, man. As Austin Powers would say, I think.
If you were to play and manage in a situation like that, what would be your thoughts on it?
Well, we've all got opinions, and I think the majority obviously thought maybe a bit risky to have 4 of the big giant clubs in the city at the same time, and the fans, and people are surmising situations that may never happen, but it's there and we have to deal with it, and the Polish are going to have to be at their best.
Just briefly to go back to Naismith and Griffiths, it's not inconceivable you could accommodate them both in the same stand.
Absolutely not. Yeah, you're dead right. It's not inconceivable that they could play together. Depending on the formation that we choose, so they're definitely in good form, and it gives, as you say, it gives me a problem, a dilemma, a happy problem, and long may these guys continue to score goals.
Like, what have you made of the start to the Scottish Premiership so far, and does it help your job in a way that the league is so competitive?
Brilliant. It's really amazing to see the league. The Livingston result was a surprise. Maybe because Rangers were going really well, but then again, Livy are going really well, and the system that they're playing with is really hard to play against, and they've shown that they can contend with anybody, and that's marvellous for the league. Hibs are going well, Aberdeen are going well. All the clubs are getting results. We're seeing some unexpected results, and it's good for the competition as long as we keep improving our quality.
This time last month, I actually got Hamden there. I know we couldn't say much really at the time because the decision had still to be made. But what were you, now that we know we're going to win at Hamden again for the foreseeable future, what do you make of that?
Yeah, well, I was advocating privately for Hamden. Murrayfield is a sensational setup as well. If we can improve Hamden, to satisfy everybody and make it, really good atmosphere in the stadium, because we know what it's like when this stadium's full, when the national team are going well, or cup finals, it can be absolutely fantastic. But they're going to improve things, and that's the main factor that I think everybody was saying, yes, Hamden, but can we make it a better Hamden? And that's, I guess, what the next challenge is.
Scotland boss, if you were given a magic wand, how would you change Hamden then?
Well, we've spoke about the ends, the 2 ends, and difficult for people to view, the pitch and in certain levels. So there's that scope, bringing it in. I don't know, I'm not the architect, but that's obviously somebody else's job. But these are the immediate kind of situations to deal with.
Can I just ask you briefly about James Forrest, who's been in the last couple of games with you? But he's been established as a club and country key player recently. Have you you have to speak to guys like him to kind of assure them of like your thoughts for him in the kind of longer term, or just that they have a role to play under you?
Yeah, you know that you're right. You're right in terms of communication. That's something I've always prided myself on. Maybe you kind of take the young guys for granted nowadays. Are they more sensitive now than our day? Is there, the social media, they're involved in all that stuff, social network, and that can be pretty biting and challenging in itself. So if they got I have to communicate with the guys, and James is a great talent, a great Scottish talent, and some of the guys haven't featured, and I definitely feel for these guys, but they will definitely play a part in Scotland, challenging for this competition. Whether we change the system or whether to suit certain players and play to their strengths, we want to try and maximise the individuals' skills.